Tracking attendance in training sessions provides valuable data for assessing the success of the training program, improving its effectiveness, and ensuring that resources are allocated appropriately. It also serves practical and sometimes regulatory purposes in various industries. Instructor-led training attendance is tracked using rosters. Once a training session is over, instructors need to submit the rosters so that students' transcripts are updated to display a complete status for the session. Once you've searched for the event, you'll want to view the sessions. The session roster provides administrators and instructors with a list of users who are registered for the session, along with any users that are currently on a wait list. This page displays the status of the session, the start and end dates, and the number of available seats left in the session. You can also view exception requests and students in a waitlisted status. You have the option to attach documents. This is great for archiving the signed rosters from the session. Additional attachments can be loaded as resources. These can be shared with a targeted audience. These resources can also be managed when creating and editing the session. When you expand the Schedule section, you'll see the date, location, and instructor details. The Users section displays every student who is currently registered for the session. The drop-down menu has options to print a sign-in sheet, email registered students, withdraw or move students to a different session, and print the unique session QR code. QR codes provide an alternative method for tracking attendance. Learners can simply scan the session QR code using their Cornerstone CSX app for a more efficient attendance tracking process. With bulk ad users, admins and instructors can easily include additional attendees, such as non-registered walk-ins. Download the Excel template, add the usernames, save the spreadsheet, and upload your new users. The newly registered users will appear on the roster once the update is complete. There are also actions available for each individual user. The Assignments tab only displays if there are prerequisites, pre-work, or post-work associated with the session. You can check user progress here and even click Exempt to excuse a user from the assignment requirements. You'll use the Attendance and Scoring tab to update attendance. How this step is managed depends on how attendance was tracked. For instance, if the attendance was tracked manually, you'll simply mark each person as having attended the class and note whether they passed the course. If you used a QR code to track attendance, the process is even easier. The attendance is already marked, so all you need to do is hit Submit. In the case of VILT training, 24 hours after the session, you'll use the Update Attendance button to retrieve the attendance records from your conferencing provider. An option that you might want to consider enabling in your portal is on the ILT Preferences page. This preference allows rosters to be submitted after the start time of the last part of the session. If you do not check the attendance column for a user, then that attendee will have a transcript status of no show once the roster is submitted. And if the attendance box is checked, but the pass box is left unchecked, the student's transcript will show a status of incomplete. Single-part sessions display a single box in the attendance column, but a multi-part session displays a box for each part. Only check the parts of the session that the student attended. The user status is determined by how many required session parts were listed on the session details step. Here's an example. Let's say the session requirement is that students must attend 2 of the 3 parts to be marked complete. If a student's attendance is marked for only 2 of the parts, they'll be considered complete when you submit the roster. Once you're ready, click the Submit Roster button to update the attendance records. After a few minutes, the registered students' transcript statuses will be updated. If a roster has been stuck processing for more than 24 hours, a pop-up window will let you know about the issue. Just refresh the page and then hit the Submit button to resubmit the roster. If you need to modify your attendance records, you can submit the same roster multiple times. For example, you can easily change a transcript status from no-show or incomplete to completed. You can also revert a user from a completed status to a registered status. There are different scenarios that affect your ability to revert a completion to registered. Check out the supported and unsupported revert scenarios page in online help for the specific details.